Welcome back to the Passport Pals podcast. I'm Josh.
I'm Olivia.
And we're
the Passport Pals. Happy Monday, everybody. Thank you for coming back and joining us for episode 6.
Woo-hoo.
Can you believe we've gone 6 episodes already?
It feels like we've done way more than that, though.
Really? I feel like it feels like we've done way less. Like, I feel like we've only talked about hardly nothing.
Well, stay tuned. We got a lot to say.
We do, and we've got a lot more trips to talk about.
Yeah, but today we are talking about everything you need to know about Royal Caribbean's Independence of the Seas. Now, this is a ship that we've both been on a couple times, and I love it. It's near and dear to my heart, so...
How many times have you been on this ship?
I've been on it 4 times.
Oh my gosh. I've only been on it twice, I think.
But this
was my first Royal Caribbean ship, though.
Oh.
My first Royal Caribbean cruise ever. I know. And my second cruise ever.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Whoa.
So my first Royal Caribbean, but my second cruise ever.
Wow. So this ship really does hold a special spot in our hearts. But before we get into everything you need to know, let's get into the passport report.
Alrighty.
What do you got for travel news over there?
All right. So this one
Uh-oh.
is going to hit really close for you.
Oh, no.
But I feel like this is something that you've talked about frequently that you love. And
What's happening? It's going away? What's happening?
Yes. Southwest Airlines has ended their long-standing 2 bags fly free policy.
This really is devastating. Southwest, if you're listening, this is the stupidest decision you've ever made.
Yes. Well, we thought the stupidest decision they had ever made was making you select your seats.
Oh, I completely forgot about that.
So that was announced a few weeks ago, which the seat policy starts in the second half of 2025.
Great. Something to look forward to.
Yeah, something so exciting, so happy. Which, if you didn't know, Southwest Airlines was one of the only airlines who did 2 free bags checked, fly free, and you didn't have to reserve your seat like you do on most airlines. You just went and found a seat and hoped to God that nobody sat in between you and your friend. So that's no more.
No.
And they just announced recently their new bag policy. And that is starting May 28th. So yesterday was the first day.
That's terrible.
Isn't that awful?
Yeah, why else would you fly Southwest?
Yeah. Well,
They're not that cheap anymore. And if they're not including 2 free bags and then you're going to have to choose a seat, they're just as bad as everyone else.
Yes, this is the argument that people are going back and forth on where they're like, Southwest, you fumbled the bag because... not giving us a bag, you fumbled the bag. So passengers will now be charged for checked bags with fees starting at $35 for the first bag and $45 for the second. Now, is that better than most airlines are charging still? Absolutely.
Really? I think it's more.
More?
I
For a
think
checked bag?
American Airlines charges $30.
No, they do not.
I don't know. Maybe it's gone up, but I know I have paid $30 for a bag before.
American Airlines charges $40 for the first checked bag within the United States. If you pay online, it's $35. So it's similar. But from what I've seen, usually those can get up to $50 a bag.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Well, I'm still mad. I'm never flying anywhere ever again.
Yeah, it is not good. But some customers will still get free checked bags.
How?
Business Select passengers.
Okay.
Rapid Rewards A-List preferred members.
Okay.
And those with the Southwest Rapid Rewards credit card.
Okay. I'm not any of those, though, so
Me
it's
neither.
not going to help.
And not planning on being one anytime soon. So fees will be charged for checked bags. Those are the exceptions. And like I said, they're also phasing out their open seating policy. And now they're requiring you to select your seats.
Terrible.
And this is happening now. So if you're booking a Southwest flight, plan to pay for a checked bag. You still get 1 personal item and 1 carry-on. But
So is it any new ticket purchased May 28th?
if you bought a ticket May 27th, even if your ticket was for December 2025, your bags still fly free. But if you bought a ticket on May 28th or on, even if it's in later on in the year, your bags are not flying free.
I guess we should have booked a couple trips.
I know, right?
Dang, we really missed out.
Well, we could. Well, and that's the thing. You could still book a trip. you're just looking at only putting everything in a carry-on and a personal item.
Which is terrible.
Yeah. Kind of.
And I know like a lot of people, like if you're going to college out of state, or I know a lot of people who've done the Disney college program, like they exclusively fly Southwest because they get 2 free bags to move all their stuff. So now if you're like going to college out of state, it's going to cost you an arm and a leg.
Wow, that's something I didn't even consider.
Yeah.
Could you imagine all the stuff we brought back and forth to college, having to fly that and pay $35, $45 every single...
Yeah.
No way. Literally no way.
So I don't know. This seems like a bad business decision.
Yeah, Southwest, what the heck, you guys?
Yeah. And they don't even have TVs or chargers on their planes.
Imagine having the audacity. To be like, guess what? You're going to have to pick where you sit, probably next to a stranger, and we're going to make you so bored out of your mind that we're going to make you think about how you had to pay $35 for your bag to be on this flight. And then we might even lose it.
And if your phone dies, good luck.
Wow.
Yeah.
Talk to the stranger you booked the ticket next to, I guess. That's crazy. Anyways, Southwest, a lot of people are mad at you right now.
Yeah.
So let us know what you think. Do you fly Southwest? Would you ever fly Southwest knowing this new policy? Is this something that you don't think is that big of a deal? Do you think it's a major deal? What do you think? Tell us.
And I mean, if their prices were like coming down or still down, I'd be like, okay, you can charge me $30. But they're not cheaper than everyone else anymore.
No, they're not.
And they're just as much, if not more, a lot of the time.
Yeah.
So
This is true. But anyways, what news do you have for us today?
So MSC Cruises has announced they are ordering 2 more world-class cruise ships.
Wait, what?
Yeah, which is crazy. So they already had 2 more coming. So now there's 2 more coming. So they currently have MSC World Europa and MSC World America. And then in 2026, we're getting MSC World Asia. 2027, MSC World Atlantic. But there's going to be 2 more coming in 2029 and 2031.
Okay, that is a lifetime away, but tell me more.
That's really all we know.
Oh, really? They haven't announced like what they're going to be called or anything
No,
yet?
it's very far in the future. But they ordered 2 more. So there's going to be a total of 6 world-class cruise ships.
They ordered. Like you can get it on like Amazon. They ordered 2 more. Wow.
So yeah, I don't know. I'm excited. I think it's going to be good. I wonder where they're going to go because we're already going to have 2 world-class ships here. So I don't know if we're going to get another.
Wow, they're like...
Yeah, because we have MSC World America in Miami, and then 2027, Port Canaveral is getting MSC World Atlantic.
And you want to know what? Come 2030, I will be recalling every bad thing you all said about MSC.
Yeah.
And I don't want to see you on any of those ships.
Yeah, you don't get a spot on MSC World Class 6.
You want to know who will be on them? Us.
Yeah.
You want to know who will be there?
Us.
Us.
So yeah.
Thank you.
I don't know. That's exciting. Now, a random tidbit off this, going back to MSC World Asia.
Yes.
So the 4th world-class ship coming 2027. I find it no. The next world-class ship coming next year, 2026. I find it odd that MSC World Asia is not sailing in Asia.
Wait, where is it sailing? Wait. Back up. Wait, where is it sailing?
The Mediterranean. Now, they have World Europa in Europe, World America in America. So you would think MSC World Asia would go to Asia, but it's sailing the Mediterranean.
Okay. Maybe they're like waiting on some stuff.
I do think that's the case. Or maybe they'll do like a split season. Like, I don't know what the Asia cruise season runs.
I guess that's
Maybe you can
true.
only cruise Asia certain times a year. So depending when the ship is coming out.
Isn't like monsoon season during certain times in Asia?
Maybe.
Like potentially dangerous for them to be there with like the weather.
I guess that's true. And the only itineraries that are out now are like in late 2026. So maybe like the winter is not a good time to be cruising Asia. Okay, hold on though. Disney is releasing their ship in Singapore in the winter months in December, January. So if MSC is also releasing World Asia in December, January timeframe, why aren't they sailing in Asia?
I think it depends where in Asia we're talking because monsoon season depends. So South Asia is summer. Southeast Asia is May, June, September, October. East Asia. Okay, so it's always monsoon season. Ideal for travel, April and November. That's it. I wonder how monsoon season plays into them.
I don't know, but the current MSC World Asia itineraries available for sale are not in Asia. So I wonder what that's about.
Yeah, I wonder if they're just trying to figure some legal stuff out or something.
Maybe. We're getting more world-class ships, which is amazing. I think that is going to be what puts MSC on the map for everyone, these big, beautiful ships.
Could you imagine if one of them is in Africa?
Oh, yeah. What is going to be 5 and 6? We have Europa, America, Asia, Atlantic, Africa. World Africa. That would be pretty cool.
Okay. If you're listening, MSC, if I called it correctly, please let me come. Anyways, that's super exciting, though.
It is.
I love MSC. I love that they're rolling out new ships. Kind of a side tidbit to your news. The Grandiosa is coming here so soon, and I want to get on that ship so bad.
We have to.
Anyways, MSC, we love you.
We do.
But what other news do you have? Was that it?
That's it. That's all I have today.
Alrighty.
Should we get into the independence of the seas?
Let's
Everything
do it.
you need to know.
Let's do it. General facts. So this ship launched in 2008, but went through a major renovation in 2018. It is 154,407 gross tons. It is 1,112 feet long, 184 feet wide. Its capacity fits 4,515 passengers.
That's a lot of people. That was more than I thought when I was looking this up.
Is this passengers and crew?
No, just passengers.
Just passengers. That is a lot of people. I don't think we've ever been on it when it's that packed.
You know, our last cruise felt pretty packed.
I guess that's true.
But it didn't feel like that many people, though. I don't know.
Our last one on the Independence did feel really packed, actually. So I guess it makes sense. Its home ports are Miami and Southampton. Tell us about the cabins.
So they don't have anything really crazy. They have all your basics in inside, ocean view, and balcony cabins. They don't have any solo cabins on board.
Oh.
2 unique ones I'll point out. They have promenade view staterooms. So they are interior staterooms, but they do have a window that looks into the internal promenade.
I was ecstatic. We actually stayed in this one. Thrilled.
It's cool. It gives you inside prices, but you get to people watch and have something to look at.
Yeah, I think this cabin is really cool.
And then another fun one they have are panoramic ocean view rooms, which have floor to ceiling windows. They're pretty cool. And there is a fun fact, a little tip on the Independence of the Seas. There is one panoramic ocean view room that is the same price as all the others, but it's like double the size. It's on a corner. I'll put the room number on the screen, so if you're watching on YouTube, you'll get to know this tip. But there's one room that's a panoramic ocean view that's got a full corner wall of windows, and it's huge, and it's the same price though.
What?
It's pretty cool.
Well, I wish I would have known that. Maybe that's what I would have booked.
But I do like the full wall of windows. It's a nice view.
Yeah, that sounds amazing. I don't think I'd leave my room.
And then they do just have suites, random or your regular suites, nothing fancy. But yeah, those are the cabins on board. Should we talk about food?
Let's do it. So included in your fare, they have the main dining room, of course, the Windjammer Marketplace. They have Sorrento's, which is the traditional Royals pizza place. Cafe Promenade, which is like light bites and such.
The coffee is an added charge. There's specialty coffee at Cafe Promenade, but they do have drip coffee for free.
There you go. And then fish and chips, which is seafood. And again, there are some things that are an added charge in that.
But there are some things which are free, which I didn't know the first couple times I was on the ship. So that is cool.
Yeah, but it was good.
Yeah.
And then for specialty, they have, once again, Cafe Promenade, which like we just talked about, fish and chips. And then they have Ben & Jerry's on board. We haven't done Ben & Jerry's, but I love Ben & Jerry's. So maybe next time. They have Sugar Beach, which is a candy shop on board. It's super cute every time we walk past it. They have the Playmaker Sports Bar, Johnny Rockets Burgers and Milkshakes. Didn't that used to be free for breakfast, though?
Depends on the class of ship, not on Independence of the Seas. But Oasis class ships, it is free for breakfast.
Okay, the more you know.
Yeah.
They have Chops Grill, which is their steakhouse on board, Giovanni's Table, which is their Italian restaurant on board, and Izumi, which is hibachi and sushi on board.
For bars, they have a few fun themed ones. So Vintages is their wine bar on board. Then they have the Schooner Bar. I don't know if it's Schooner or Schooner. Know what the
I think I've always heard
correct
schooner.
pronunciation is, but they have this bar on every single Royal Caribbean ship, and it is a piano bar as well. So it's a cool, fun, nautical themed bar, and they do have a piano performer at night. Playmakers, again, it's the sports bar, so they have a lot of TV showing live sports, some fun bar food and stuff. And then Boleros is the Latin bar. Ale and Anchor is an English pub that does have a live performer in there every night, which is super fun. And then they have a champagne bar. And then just your regular bars throughout the ship as well. But those are all the fun themed ones.
Very nice.
What can we do on board?
Alrighty. Lots of fun things. They have the Perfect Storm, which is their water slides. There's 2 of them on board. They have the rock climbing wall, which is very unique. I don't think I'd ever seen that on a cruise ship.
And there's one on every single Royal Caribbean ship.
So cool. The Flow Rider Surf Simulator, which is also, I believe, on most Royal Caribbean ships.
Not all.
Most Royal Caribbean ships. Mini golf, which we had a lot of fun doing. A basketball court. They have pools, which the main pool and the adults only solarium. They have Splashaway Bay, which is the kids' splash area. Tell us more.
Then around the pool, they do have casitas you can rent. They're just like little cabanas, but they do have them around the pool for you to rent, an added charge. But that is a recent addition on Independence of the Seas. Then the Royal Promenade, which I think is one of the coolest spots on this ship. It's inside the ship. It's 3 decks high, and it's just like a big long hallway essentially, but it's in the center of the ship, and there's a whole lot of food spots, shopping. They do a lot of parties, entertainment in that ship, so it's a big central hub in the ship. I think it's a cool spot. Then the Royal Theater, they do have a Broadway production on board Independence of the Seas. They have Grease. They say Grease in concert, so it's not the full production of Grease, but it's more than just singing. They throw in a few scenes, but it is not the full production of Grease. And then they also have some original production shows in the theater. Then really unique on board, they have Studio B, which is the ice rink on board. Now, in this venue, a lot happens. They do have ice shows, which I think is some of the best entertainment at sea. I really like the ice shows. Do you like them?
I do, yeah.
I think they're cool, unique option at sea. But also in Studio B, you can also go ice skating yourself. And they do have laser tag in this venue as well. So a lot of fun stuff here in Studio B. And then they also have the Royal Escape Room, the Observatorium here on board Independence of the Seas. It is an added charge. They also have the Casino Royale, a spa, a gym, and then, of course, kids and teens clubs.
Jam-packed ship.
Yeah, there is a lot of fun stuff to do on this ship.
Yeah.
So if you're looking for fun, Independence of the Seas has it for you.
Yeah, I think both times that we've been on this ship, I wasn't bored.
Yeah.
Like there's always something to do. And I think Royal tends to do that really well, where there's always something for everyone. You're never bored. There's always something to do. There's always something to do, like keep yourself busy.
Yeah. And Independence of the Seas typically has pretty good pricing, which is why we've been on it a few times.
Yeah.
That is pretty much everything you need to know about Independence of the Seas so you can plan your trip. But stay tuned for Friday, our next episode, where we recount our trip on the Independence of the Seas so you can hear everything we did. The last one we did on Independence of the Seas was pretty unique, so stay tuned to hear more about that.
Alrighty. Should we get into our next segment?
Yes.
All right.
Wish we had known.
Wish we had known. Josh, tell us what you wish you had known.
Wish we had known. Cruising wise, wish we had known gratuities. So
tell us more.
If you didn't know, if you've never been on a cruise before, you probably don't know this. So let's say your cruise is $300 a person.
Right.
You think, okay, I paid my cruise fare, $300 a person. We're all done, right?
Right.
Wrong.
Uh-oh.
When you get on board, there is another fee that will be added on to your bill. You can prepay it as well, but like if you're a first-time cruiser, you definitely wouldn't have known to prepay this. So there are gratuities. This is a service charge that is charged per person per day on all cruise lines. Oh, I'd say 99% of them. Virgin Voyages you don't pay gratuities. But on almost every single cruise line, you will have to pay per person per day a gratuity, which is just a service charge. So yeah. If you didn't know, that is charged. Now, this is kind of a hot topic in the cruising community. A lot of people say, oh, I want to get mine taken off. Why should I have to pay that? I'm just going to tip in cash, blah, blah, blah. I'd say it's not that much money. It helps out the crew. Just leave them on. And then if you have exceptional service somewhere, tip extra in cash, brighten someone's day. But I just see it as like a resort fee. A lot of resorts around the world charge a resort fee, and you're not getting that taken off.
That's a good point.
Like, there's a fee for the level of service and all the amenities you experience at a resort or on a cruise ship.
Good point. Good point. I wouldn't have known about gratuities had Josh not told me. When I was a first-time cruiser, I was like, what is this? Yeah, I don't know. I mean, to each their own. If you feel as though you'd like to get it taken off, you have the right to do that, of course. But we are strong pro-gratuity payers. I think that the crew works really, really hard round the clock to provide a level of service. And, you know, that's part of their pay. That's part of why they're employed. So, I don't know. Just something to consider the next time you go on a cruise.
Just know there is an added charge, and it's not calculated in your cruise fare. So when you're planning for a cruise, just think, oh, and they are getting up there these days, I will say, like anywhere from like $16 to $20 per person per day, depending on the cruise line. So just budget that. Look at whatever cruise line you're going on. Prepare for that. And again, you can prepay it. Just wish we had known that is an added charge that you should plan for.
What did we pay on gratuities on our transatlantic? Just out of curiosity. That was a 19-night.
Probably over $200 a person.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
See, I don't even remember. Couldn't matter that much.
Yeah.
Okay. So
what do you got? What do you wish we had known?
I wish I had known. And I continue to talk about Europe because we planned our trip to Europe in maybe a month, less than a month. And there were just a lot of things that I wish I had known prior to going. So if you are planning a Euro summer, or if you haven't already left for your Euro summer and you are planning on going to Italy, please know that the Vatican, the Basilica, it is very hot.
Yeah.
Now, this is not something that I considered. I was like, I'm going to be inside all day. And out of respect, you have to cover your knees and your shoulders for both men and women. Now, was everyone following that rule? No. Were they enforcing it as strongly as I thought they would be? No. But still, had I known that, I probably wouldn't have worn something more revealing just out of respect for the church. But it was kind of brutal.
Yeah.
We were in the Vatican for probably 4 or 5 hours, maybe even more. And it was hot.
It was so hot.
There were so many people. It's already hot outside. Mind you, the Vatican is like, there's so many windows. So the sun is coming through.
It's
and
bacon.
That Italian summer sun, baby, she's toasty. She is warm. So when you've combined the hot Italian sun, the hot Italian summers, the plethora of people trying to get in and out of this building, trying to see everything around you, like you're moving in pretty big crowds. You're surrounded by people pretty much the entire time you're in there. At least we were.
While wearing long pants to be respectful.
Yeah, while wearing, pretty modest clothing, and it gets toasty in there. So, I mean, I brought my portable fan because I brought my portable fan everywhere when we were in Italy because of how hot it was. But had I not had it, I'm not sure I would have survived.
Yeah, it was really...
I was standing there like this the whole time with a little fan in front of my face being like, wow, that is so beautiful, So just, I wish I had known. I also was wearing black. So that might have been adding a little extra to the heat. And we walked all the way there from our little Airbnb, which it was like probably a 30-minute walk.
Yeah.
There and back. The walk back was treacherous.
Yeah, it was like, by the time we left, it was maybe like 2 p.m. I don't remember. But it was the heat of the day. Long pants, and it was brutal.
It was brutal. It was hot.
Yeah.
Really hot. So... just wish we had known that even though you think you're going to be inside of a building and you're going to be covered up, it's going to be fine. It was not fine.
No.
It was toasty. It was really hot. So just bring a little portable fan, pack your water, pack your fan, pack your patience pants,
Mm-hmm.
and just remember it's all going to be okay.
Yeah.
You will get out of there eventually. But yeah, that's something I wish I had known.
All right. Well, that's it for today's episode. Everything you need to know about the Independence of the Seas. Again, stay tuned for our next episode where we recount our trip on the Independence of the Seas. Also, we want to hear from you. We want to hear all your travel hot takes, crazy travel stories, really any travel opinion you have. Let us know at passportpalspodcast.com so we can react to it here on the podcast.
We hope you have a great rest of your week. We look forward to seeing you guys on Friday and telling you all about our experiences on this lovely, beautiful ship.
Yeah.
And with that,
Where to next?